You know, I was thinking I haven't done a shop update in forever. Just kind of shared what's going on in here, what I've been working on, that kind of thing. So let's do that today. Oh, yeah, hold on. This video is sponsored by Bluetti. They're actually having a really great sale right now for the Sky, the EB3A, and the AC200P, which is their big 2000 watt hour unit. They both have like really great prices now for the month of July. So you can go check that out. And I'm going to be giving one of these away, but more about that a little bit later. Let me show you guys what's been going on here. Let's add in here. The bench is, it's a bit messy. But that's okay. That's the way a bench is supposed to be, right? Okay, so I've been working on a bunch of stuff in here that may or may not work out, if you know what I mean. So one of the things I've been kind of playing with lately are making gears on the CNC machine. And I think it's kind of cool. And my son, who's 4, really enjoys this kind of stuff too. So I've been kind of just playing with the idea of making a bunch of different gears using Vectric. That's the program I use for my CNC machine, and it's really nice because it enables you to design gears very easily. One thing I have realized though, that if you're gonna make small gears like this, don't even bother unless you're using like Baltic birch. You're just not gonna get a good result. And Baltic birch is so hard to find right now, just impossible to find. I was playing around with making gears. I had like MDF scraps that I was going to throw away. So then I was like, oh, maybe I could make some gears out of those. So I was playing with that too. But of course, if you were actually using these gears for real, probably wouldn't be a good idea to use MDF because it's going to wear down. But just like for a concept, it's kind of neat. Another thing is all of this. So you guys know I'm into bookbinding. Been doing some bookbinding equipment in the past here. This press. I get quite a lot of like emails and comments from people who like the idea of making a press, who wants plans or whatever, and I was thinking it would be cool to make one that is really like affordable, where the parts don't cost too much, because like this is really nice, but it uses like hardwood and like expensive hardware. So I was thinking, okay, how can I design a book press that doesn't utilize any of that? So my first thought was, okay, I'll get some metal pipes. So I went to the hardware store, got flanges and like rods, and cut these out on the CNC. But, you know, then I was thinking, this is not cheap. Metal pipes are expensive. It's like 85 bucks or something on just the pipes alone and the flanges. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna scrap that idea, I don't like that. Now, what maybe I could use instead are like framing lumber. I could use 2x4s, and I have one of these at home. I was thinking, this is a tap and die set. This is for like 1.5 inches. Well, if people just had to buy 2x4s and one of these, this costs like what, 40 to 60 bucks at, you know, this kind of tool where you can make your own wood screws, which is not too bad, but it's a cool tool to have. You can use it for a lot of things. So I was thinking, okay, that's kind of cool. Maybe I could use 2x4s to make a book press. So obviously 2x4s work, you know, good to glue up a base and a top, you know, it's fine for that, but it's not so fine for making wooden screws. The wood is just not hard enough. It's not like substantial enough. Here you can see it looks like kind of like chewed up corn on the cob. It just didn't get a good grip. And then there's sap. It started getting sticky using these tools, and it was just kind of a mess. And the result just looks ridiculous. But more importantly, it doesn't work that well. I mean, there's not a good grip. So that just got me kind of annoyed about the whole thing. Like, the whole point was to make something cheap using 2x4s, using like basic materials. And then I don't know if that is a good idea. It doesn't seem like it. If I can't make it cheap and can't go with that basic design, then what's the point? So that just kind of got me annoyed with the whole thing. When you're making something like, I mean, this right here. Okay, this is the same thing. This is, what did I use here? This is oak or maple? Probably oak. I've been making a bunch of these. And wooden screws are cool and also not so cool. I mean, of course they're gorgeous and classic and have that kind of nice quality about them, but they also take forever to bring up and down. Not forever, but they do take longer than metal screws. I was thinking that if I were actually to do bookbinding for a business where I was, you know, making books for people, I think I would remake all of these bookbinding tools and use metal screws and use plywood. There's just no reason. And it's kind of slow. So I was still kind of on a wooden screw kick, and I do like them, even though this didn't really work out. But I was thinking it would be fun to play around with some different sizes. So I got another tap and die set. This is only for like 1/2-inch ones. And these are relatively affordable. I mean, not too bad. And so I was playing making smaller wood screws. This is walnut right here. Let's look how gorgeous it is. And the reason why I really wanted to make this was a project that I'm working on right now. Or I'm still kind of in the thinking stages. But it centers around the wood screw, and that is making a wooden vise. Now the reason I thought a wooden vise would be cool is so I have my kid's 4, he plays with all the stuff in here, he spends so much time in the shop, he loves the shop. But he wants to play with the vise. It's kind of like a metal vise, it's kind of dangerous, so I was thinking it would be cool if it was made out of wood. And it would be cool to have a wood screw that moved the vise up and down, and then you could even use it like as a desk project or as a holder for something, or you could use it for electronics. And I love that idea, so that's kind of what I'm playing with right here. Definitely, if you're doing wooden screws, there are a couple things that I come back to is make sure you use a good wood. You obviously need to either buy dowels or you need to turn them yourself. I'm using the CNC machine. If possible, make them a touch smaller than the size is. So if this is 1/2 inch, make it just a touch smaller in diameter, and then you'll have less issues. Otherwise, you'll have to sand them a little bit. And then use oil and wax. I use my, where is it? I use our mineral oil and beeswax polish when I use the tap and die set, which works really well. So, wood screw factory in here. Oh, let me show you what else. Another thing I've been kind of working on. So this is my Tormach T8, and I'm actually just starting to work with Tormach. Some of you guys know that I am Swedish and they are Swedish, and I do love their product, so it feels like a really fun fit. And they just sent me 3 of their diamond wheels that replaces the stone. So I've just been using their jigs here to grind down some really bent up chisels, and also trying out their knife jigs here to sharpen the knives. And it's definitely different using the diamond. And I'm going to make some videos about that and how that is to use comparatively. They make such great stuff. I mean, the quality is just, it's impeccable. It's so good. I want to talk a little bit about the Bluetti for a minute. So one of my favorite things is to work with companies where I really like the product. So I have the opportunity to give one of these away to one of you guys. So right now Bluetti has a sale here in July, and it's actually a really good sale. And you can get this at a discounted price, and you can also get their large 2000 watt hour AC 200p, which I'm using in the office, in the house, and it has been running non-stop for what, 1.5 years now. It's been a really reliable unit. But this one is kind of their small fun unit. I made a video about this a little while back where I took it out and I did some cooking with it. I tested it out. And the thing about it is so light and small. It has a LiPo4 battery inside, but it has a larger inverter. So only like a 268 watt hour battery, but like a 600 watt inverter, which means that you can actually use more things than you would normally be able to. You're gonna run out of power a little bit sooner, but you can, use a solar panel and use pass-through charging. So it's a neat unit. And the other thing that I really like about it too is that the app works really great. It has a really nice display. Everything works really smoothly. It's not loud. Some things that kind of annoy you about some other units, like a loud fan or loud charging. None of that is true with this guy. So anyway, I'm going to be giving one of these away. So all you have to do is leave me a fun comment. Leave a substantial comment. Something, I don't know, one of my favorite projects that you enjoy back, or something about what I've been talking about, and then I will just randomly pick a winner in a week from when this video was published. And that winner will receive a brand new EB3A Bluetti unit. But yeah, make sure you check out the link in the description below, where you can find these at a really good price right now. Maybe you've been debating about getting the larger, the AC200p for a while. I would recommend that one as well. It's a power horse. It works really well. So that was just a little catch up shop update. So right now I'm working with the little screws here. I kind of want to make a whole bunch of screws. I don't know, I just love them. I love playing with them. I'm just thinking about like a whole bunch of things that you can do where you need to raise or lower something, or you need to move something, and using a wooden screw is just like really appealing for some things, not all things, some things. So anyway, hope you're doing well. Don't forget to comment on this post for a chance to win the Bluetti. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Bye, bye, bye.